Good morning, all. Today we are going to discuss about legal environment. In the previous class, we discussed about what political environment is, and we have seen what all are the elements of a political environment. And today we are going to see a continuation of this political environment, that is legal environment. So, in the elements of political environment, the last element was the judiciary. The judiciary, we learned that the judiciary constitute the body which is constituted to make sure that the rules and regulations are being strictly followed by businesses of a particular of the country. And today, the legal environment means something which is again concerning with the judiciary of the country. So, legal environment of a business looks at key areas which the organization is strictly bound to follow the rules and laws which are set forward by the government or the legislature. So, the legal environment makes sure that the businesses are following the laws of that particular country. Or we can say legal environment is something which constitutes the laws and rules and regulations which exist in that particular country. Now, the next thing is what are the legal factors which affect a particular business environment, or what are the legal factors which affect the functioning of a business? The first thing is the provisions which is set forward by the constitution of that particular country. That is the rules and regulations which prevails in that particular country, which is set under the constitution. Second is the securities law. That is the law which is related with raising of securities and shares to the public. Third is contract law. We know each and every business, they will have to sign a particular contract. They will have to enter a particular contract with any of the parties in that country to run business in a particular country. So contract law is the rules and regulations which are prevailed in relation with signing contracts or getting into an agreement. Next is consumer protection law, the law which are related with the consumers or the customers of a particular business. Next is the employees protection law, the laws and rules which are related with the employees or the workers who are working in that organization. That is the welfare of the workers, the payment of salary and wages to the workers, the facilities which should be given to the workers. Then immigration law, the law which is related with overseas businesses, and antitrust law, the law which is related with the quality assurance of the product. So these are the legal factors which most probably affect the functioning of a business in a particular area. Now the next thing we are going to see is what are the legal framework of India, or what are the legal main rules and main legal rules which is set forward by the Indian government in the country. The first and foremost thing is the Companies Act 1956, which is revised in 2013. Now what is Companies Act? Companies Act explains about the rules and regulations or the legal frameworks which is required to set up a company in India, that is set up a manufacturing plant or set up an organization in the country. The rules and regulations which prevails in setting a business firm in the country is called as Companies Act. Second is Foreign Exchange and Management Act, which is otherwise called as FEMA, which we will be learning later. FEMA deals with the rules and regulations which prevails in export and import of goods, or the foreign exchange of items from our country and from there. Third is the Factories Act, the legal rules and regulations which is set in relation with a manufacturing unit which is functioning in the country. So a factory, a manufacturing unit which has so many number of employees, workers, what all things they should do. That is said in the Factories Act. Then Industrial Dispute Act is the act which prevails in the relation with the disputes which is happening in the organizations, or disputes which is happening between the organization and individuals, or between organizations, or between organization and government. ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ, ആ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ റിസോൾവ് ചെയ്യാനായിട്ട് എന്താ ചെയ്യേണ്ടതെന്നുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങളാണ് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയൽ ഡിസ്പ്യൂട്ട്സ് ആക്ടിൽ. നെക്സ്റ്റ് ഈസ് MRTP Act. MRTP Act stands for Monopolies and Restricted Trade Practices Act. That is after 1969. This was set up in 1969, and after 1969 no organizations or no private businesses were given the right to have a monopoly in the country. That is, they cannot say that this is our product or this style of product is ours. No one can do this. There is no monopolistic markets. That is, anyone can start any business. Only the government has the right to run monopoly businesses. That is MRTP Act of 1969, which was again revised in as Competition Act in 2002. Then Bureau of Indian Standards Act, where the organization needs to have particular level of standard in the products which is manufactured by them. Consumer Protection Act 1986, which says that the consumer is the king and he has certain rights. The organization obliged to serve the rights of the consumers. And the last one is the Environmental Protection Act, where each and every organization has certain responsibility towards its environment, and the organization should do some activities which preserves the environment which surrounds the organization. These are the legal frameworks which prevails, or the major legal rules and regulations which prevails in our country, that is India.